Hi everyone, I will analyze gender bender in Japanese shoujo manga using Ouran High School Host Club as a case study. First, I will introduce the key features of Japanese shoujo manga. It originated in the early 20th century and developed rapidly after the World War II. It's characterized by emotional storytelling, aesthetic expression, and a focus on female audience. It usually depicts coming-of-age stories and romantic relationships involving young protagonists. The visual style is often highly aestheticized. The backgrounds are filled with soft, feminine images. Characters have large, sparkling eyes, and the facial expressions are highly dynamic. Most shoujo manga narratives are set in school or virtual worlds. Common storylines include cross-dressing and boys' love. And as the Japanese society has evolved, shoujo manga has also begun to reflect contemporary cultural and social issues. Ouran High School Host Club was created by the Bisco Hatoro and serialized from 2002 to 2010. It's a romantic shoujo manga characterized by comedy, gender play, and high school drama. The storyline is set in the Ouran High School. The protagonist, Haruhi Fujioka, comes from an ordinary family, and accidentally breaking an expensive vase, she's forced to join the school host club to repair her debt. In Ouran High School Host Club, the device of gender bender is central of the narrative. Haruhi is mistaken for a boy due to her short hair and plain appearance. Her personality also differs from the typical heroines of the shoujo manga. Her calm, rational, and independent character challenges the stereotype that women must be weak. Even after the Haruhi sex was discovered, the male characters did not reject her, and the pilot does not fall into the usual romantic routine. Instead, the narrative continues to focus on her personal growth and the social interaction struggles related to the identity. This narrative structure breaks the traditional anime plot, highlights the importance of female perspective in the narrative. Next, I will discuss the purpose of the gender bender in shoujo manga. In Ouran High School Host Club, the narrative employs cross-dressing, and the male characters are typified to satisfy the diverse emotional of the female audience. Each male character has a specific customizable symbol. For example, the prince type, they have the noble, gentle, and idealized masculine imagery. This character typification responds to the female audience diverse emotional projection needs, forming an emotional commodity for marketing consumption. Shoujo manga, as an important part of the Japanese cultural soft power, constructs gender to serve entertainment and marketing consumption. Finally, I will talk about what kind of social significance does the gender bending in shoujo manga really bring. Gender-bender narratives in shoujo manga construct a gender spectacle, offering the audience a fantasy space of the gender freedom. Gender boundaries are blurred and identity fluid seems to become real. However, this gender freedom only exists within the fictional narratives. It's wrapped in a light, entertaining story framework. It lack of the critique of the patriarchal structure and gender equality in the real world. Most gender binding showing in the shoujo manga present the masculinity through the female gaze. It still sells the idealized male image. More importantly, when audience immerse themselves in the shoujo manga, they are in fact unconsciously accepting and consuming the gender norm and the patriarchal structure that exists in the real society. Therefore, gender bender in shoujo manga do not necessarily represent a real challenge to gender structure. On the contrast, they often represent a superficial and a commodified kind of the freedom, masking a persistent gender power relations and classic inequality that exists in the society. This is my reference list. Thank you for listening.